Top five, top five, top five.
So the will go back with another video. I'm Strange Wayne. He is Nate. Today, in honor of the movie Freaky, we're doing top 5 body swap movies. He's going to tell you how that works.
So he's going to start with his 5 and 4, and then I'll give my 5 and 4, and then 3-2-3-2 will trade off number ones. We also have something called the Zemeckis rule, which just means if we both have the same movie on our list, but one of us has it 2 spots or more higher, we'll save the conversation till we get to it on that person's list.
Exactly. Before we start, a rule that we kind of set for ourselves, that same body, but waking up as a different age doesn't count because it's the same body. So the mind, the soul, whatever, has to go into a new vessel. Because if we did it the other way, it would be all of those movies and maybe one of these. So with that being said, almost off. Actually, I want to tell you a dishonorable mention, and it is one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. Probably the worst film I've ever seen in my life.
I think I know what it is.
I was miserable watching this movie. I want to tell you how miserable I was watching this movie. If somebody was like, you have to get rid of your left nut to go on a date with the prettiest girl you ever seen. Well, her name's Brittany. You don't know her. But Nicki Minaj, solid number 2. If I had a chance to go on a date with Nicki Minaj, give up my left nut. And I'm on this date with Nicki Minaj after giving up my left nut. And she was like, hey, The Shaggy Dog is my favorite movie.
Yeah, I knew that's what you were
from the 1950s. I would literally, knowing I gave up my left testicle and would never get it back, I would get up and leave. Because whoever likes that movie is a terrible person. They probably kick babies. That movie's god-awful. Charles Manson and the Zodiac Killer, that was probably their favorite movie. That is one of the worst movies of all time. That movie's fucking terrible.
The remake isn't good either.
I wasn't even going to watch the remake after I watched that. I don't even know why I put myself through it. I started it and I was like, I don't even like dogs. And this is like some Leave It to Beaver stuff. It's terrible. My number 5 is The Change Up. I'll tell you why. Because this movie...
That's your number 5?
It's my number 5.
Zemeckis.
Told you right down your list. My number 4 is Freaky Friday. Look at... Oh, goddamn.
Wait, original?
No, the remake.
Zemeckis.
Okay.
Again.
My number 5 is going to be a movie that is also terrible, but I saw it when I was a child, so it was funny. And it's The Hot Chick.
It is funny when you're a child. I can contest to that.
Yeah, it is. It's hilarious. And you made this point before filming. It's maybe actually out of all these films the most relevant to the movie Freaky that is coming about because it is also about swapping bodies with a criminal. And watching Rob Schneider do Rob Schneider things is pretty funny.
Agreed.
And also like watching generically attractive high school girl act like a criminal is also funny.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Number 4 is, based on the rule that you just described, I definitely would say this counts. I don't even think it's necessarily a cheat. I'm going to go Jumanji on that one because...
The one with The Rock in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he not in the second one?
That is the second one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I am specifically talking about the new Jumanji
Welcome
films.
to the Jungle. Okay.
Yeah, where they get sucked into video games. It could be either of them.
That's a new vessel.
They're both pretty funny. Yeah, well, by the rule, by definition, the rule you set, that is a body swap. And especially in the second one where they even switch up the ones from where they were in the first time.
I do it a few times.
Yeah, this movie's great. After I thought about your rule, I wish that I had made it my number 1 because I like it more than any of the other movies on my list.
Well, there you have it, folks.
That movie's hilarious, and they use the fact that they are different people inside different bodies for some very well done comedic moments, and I appreciate that because you did it and you made it not cheesy, and the parts of it that are naturally cheesy, they recognize that and then just played off of it to where it's very self-aware.
Yeah. My number 3 is Heaven Can Wait with Warren Beatty. And I'm going to go do my number 2 is Down to Earth with Chris Rock because it's the remake of it.
Oh, nice.
The same exact movie, just Chris Rock and Warren Beatty, they die. They have these big dreams. Chris Rock wants to be a comedian. Warren Beatty's an athlete. They both die. They get to heaven. They're like, no, I can't die. I got dreams. And it's about them being put into a new body and trying to live out their dreams. And I like that. I like stand-up comedy a lot. I like Chris Rock better than Warren Beatty. And Down to Earth has Chaz Palminteri, who was in A Bronx Tale, my favorite movie. So that's why it's my number 2. And Heaven Can Wait's a better movie. The humor hits more with Down to Earth for me.
Sure.
So that's why it's ahead of Heaven Can Wait.
Yeah.
So that's my 3 and 2. Back to you.
That's fair. So my number 3 is going to be the one that should make everyone mad, because it makes me mad that I had to put it on my list. And it's going to be the live-action Scooby-Doo movie. Because there is like a good 10 or 15 minute sequence where they all swap bodies. And that movie is terrible, and I acknowledge that, but I love it just the same. I will never not love that movie. It makes me laugh very much. And I don't think there are that many good body swap movies. I'm not happy about this list, but I'm here, and I really enjoy that part of that movie. High five.
No. Have you seen Down to Earth or Heaven Can Wait?
No.
Okay. So it's just your lack of
I'll be honest with you.
Seeing these movies?
The plots that you just described did not sound interesting to me.
They're good.
And maybe it's just because I'm tired and like a little grouchy. But like,
I think you should watch them.
well, I probably will one day. And then my number 3 was one of the Zemeckis from earlier, which is the Change Up.
Your number 3.
Sorry, my number 2.
Okay.
Yeah, 2. There's 2. Well, it still would have been Zemeckis because
You're
it was your
changing
number
up the
5.
order. That's what you're doing.
No. It was my number 2. Yeah, I actually kind of enjoy this movie a little bit.
Is the change up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not because I think it's good necessarily, but like, so like obviously a really common theme in any body swap movie is like, you know, walking a mile in someone else's shoes,
Yeah.
and therefore either like realizing how much better their life is than you thought it was, or like, you know, realizing how much better your life than you thought it was. It's all about perspective. That's like pretty much what any body swap movie is about, is gaining a new perspective. And I think this one's really interesting because it's literally just about like being a toxically masculine fuckboy versus being a dude who settled down and like did the things the way that you were supposed to do, and like finding the balance in between those two things. And I think that that's a healthy balance, and I don't think that we have to give up on being fun, like youthful at heart people just because you have a family. And I also don't think that you can't have a family because you want to stay fun. And I like that about the movie.
You know why it's my number 5?
Why?
Because
You don't like Ryan Reynolds?
I don't like Ryan Reynolds. But I feel like in the next 5 to 10 years, this is going to happen to you and I.
Yeah.
You being Jason Bateman.
We're going to pee in a fountain and switch bodies?
Yeah.
I'm cutting your hair.
Bro, I will divorce Darby in a heartbeat. You cut my hair. I'm going to rename your kids.
Oh, you can't do that, so.
Legally, I will. Because I will be in your body. If you cut my hair, Darby's getting cheated on in a heartbeat.
I'm selling all of your Blu-rays.
No, you're not. You're gonna hide them somewhere, and when you switch back bodies, you go take them all, you bastard. But I feel like that might happen to you and I. Because, like, not to those, like, extreme levels, just, like, the general
I'm not
idea.
even that much older than you.
Yeah, but out of the two of us, who's having a family first? Let's be real.
I don't know, man. You just stick that thing in random places sometimes.
That doesn't mean I'm going to want the family or stay with the family.
Oh, well, we'd have a conversation about that.
Because you can talk to yourself in my body, because it's going to happen about 5 or 10 years. My number 1 is All of Me. I've said it before in top 5 videos. A movie with Steve Martin in it is a movie that needs to be seen. Because every time I see a movie with Steve Martin in it, I enjoy the movie. And every time I watch a movie with Steve Martin in it, I want to see another movie with Steve Martin in it. All this started because of The Jerk. I saw The Jerk and I was like, yeah, Steve Martin's in it. I'll definitely watch it. All of Me is a fun body switch movie because this sick, rich, ridden woman never got to enjoy life or any of her money. Hired this Indian spiritual person to transfer her soul into a young girl's body, and if it doesn't work, the young girl's rich. But if it does work, I guess she goes to heaven, and she goes to the dead body, right? So the ritual gets messed up, and the lawyer, Steve Martin, gets her body, but since the body didn't have anywhere to go to, Steve Martin's soul stays in his body. So he controls the right half of his body, and she controls the left half of his body. And they hate each other. And obviously, like, you learn how to love each other, and her body gets switched around for his friend. But at the end of the movie, because it is a movie, and it's an old movie, so I'm going to go ahead and spoil it, is the girl body gets, her soul gets to the body it was intended for. But it's hilarious seeing that half of your body you can't control, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like they're walking funny, and like Steve Barnes, she's like, you know, this is ridiculous. And she's like, this is ridiculous. Because it's like, it's a female. Mm-hmm. So it's really funny. It's a great performance by Steve Martin because he has to act like a woman on one side and remember what side and what does what. Like, even the walk, this leg walks more feminine than this leg. And it's like, it blows my mind because it's like, damn, he's switching up. Like, how many times do they have to do this to get it right, you know? So I really enjoy it. It's hilarious. And it's different from all the other body switch movies I've ever seen, at least. Because it's like half the body. You should watch it. It's hilarious. It's on HBO.
That's neat. That was your number one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my number one is a little Lindsay Lohan, Jamie Lee Curtis action. It's Freaky Friday. It's just super nostalgic. That's really kind of what this list came down to for me. But I really do enjoy the themes. The themes are very similar to, like I said earlier, pretty much every body switching movie.
This is the body switch movie.
But this one is about
let's be real.
Yeah, I agree with that. But so like this one it's about a mother-daughter relationship, but I feel like because of how like just angsty and aggressive Lindsay Lohan is, it like
in real life.
Well, especially I guess, but in the film too, like I understand I will never understand what a mother-daughter relationship is or being in one is like, but like I understand what being an angsty teen with a super straight-laced mom is like. I lived that life for a while, and like. So I've always kind of like felt connected to this movie because it like gave me someone to identify with in Lindsay Lohan's angsty teenage self, and then also like shed some light on how absolutely hard it is to be a parent to any child, even if you have the best child in the world. Like, assuming that you are your parent's first child, that's the first time that they've ever been a parent. They have never done this before. They have no clue what they are doing. So like it helped me to not hate my mom as much. And
that's a strong word.
Yeah. Well, I was a teenager. Like obviously I never really hated my mom, but you feel like you do because like you're chock full of hormones and every emotion feels like 10 times stronger than it really is. So I have a lot of appreciation for this movie. It's still not a good movie.
I just got what you said earlier when you said I stick things in random places sometimes. That's funny. But it's on my list because it's the thumbnail. Like, when you think of body swap movies, this is the movie you think of.
Obviously.
Well, you know what I'm interested in? Our top fives. And if you are, go ahead and tell us that down in the comment section below. Scroll back up, hit that like button, share the video, and subscribe.